This is a Fox News alert. Hurricane Maria has strengthened to a Category 3 as it heads toward Puerto Rico and expected to slam the U.S. Virgin Islands. This is just less than 2 weeks after Hurricane Irma completely devastated them. The National Hurricane Center, in fact, saying that Maria is gaining strength and actually could reach a Category 4 by Wednesday. And that's when Maria is expected to strike the U.S. Virgin Islands as they try to clean up from Irma. Environmental journalist Kelsey Nowakowski is in the U.S. Virgin Islands and joins me now on the phone. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thanks for having me on today, Julie.
The governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands says the island was actually 80% destroyed. 40,000 people are homeless. They desperately need help in the form of aid, which has mostly been focusing, they complain, on Florida. Now, are they going to get the resources to help prepare themselves for another hurricane?
Well, the resources that we need to prepare ourselves for another hurricane, would be rebuilding and having shelter. We don't have enough time to do that. So right now it's getting people out of the most damaged structures. Some of the housing projects that are here, there's already been mandatory evacuations, and people are being put in shelters now. But in terms of the tarps that have been distributed for homes that have already lost their roofs, they stand no chance with the winds that we're about to get.
No, of course. And the structures that don't have tarps on top of them are so badly damaged and unstable that they would never be able to sustain a Category 4 on top of that. You know, prior to Hurricane Irma, Florida Governor Rick Scott did something that you don't often see. He declared a state of emergency to get federal aid for the entire state of Florida before Irma actually made landfall in order to help the state of Florida prep for that massive storm. And that was hugely helpful. But the Virgin Islands, also a U.S. territory, seems like it was forgotten somehow. I mean, what is being done there now to help the people recover? There are 40,000 people homeless, and they don't have enough shelters to go around. Where are people going to go when Maria comes?
People are going to be with their family, their friends, if they have it. They're going to be in government shelters and churches. I know that some people will likely be in their cars if they have cars, but hopefully they will have someone in their network that they can stay with, and I'm sure strangers will be taking people in too if there's needed. We're preparing for it. Most of our aid has been coming from St. Croix and Puerto Rico, which are directly in line for Maria. St. Croix got by, it's 40 miles south of St. Thomas and St. John, and it got by relatively unscathed from Irma, but it's looking like it's going to get it the worst from Maria. So we're also wondering, did we drain too many supplies from St. Croix and Puerto Rico? Do they have enough to provide for themselves? Because we're going to have all 4 U.S. territories in this area needing aid very soon.
You know, it's just alarming to hear that you're saying that basically the plan B is to get in your car. I mean, that's not how you prepare for a hurricane. And certainly the people of Texas and Florida weren't told or expected to get in their cars. It just seems like we're talking about another part of the world. It's really hard to believe that there aren't enough shelters. First of all, I don't get it. I mean, why isn't there federal aid providing shelters for all these people? Because cars certainly should not be the solution. Or get them on cruise ships. Get them off to another island somewhere else where they actually do have the room. There is time to do that. Is that being talked about?
We've gotten most of the tourists that were stranded here off island via cruise ships, but I haven't heard a statement from the governor what's being done. All I know is that the people who are being mandatory evacuated are going into shelters. We do have a lot of damaged buildings, but it seems like even if they're at capacity, we would have enough space to keep everyone at least for the storm. After the storm, I'm not sure how comfortable that'll be, but there's just not enough time to put people in places. I know some of the military is leaving because they don't have a safe place to shelter the storm themselves.
It's a shame.
And they're coming right back after, but it's scary times right now.
A lot of the residents from the U.S. Virgin Islands are actually New Yorkers, and Andrew Cuomo, our governor, actually traveled to the Virgin Islands and is announcing that he's going to be deploying members of the New York National Guard and state police, which is good, but, more needs to be done. Kelsey, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.